What is up, everybody?
Hello.
It's Tucker in the Beard, in case you didn't know
I know.
what page you were
In
watching.
case you're new to this.
Yeah. And welcome to our first trailer reaction
I know.
video.
This is something we've been wanting to do for a little bit, but
Didn't quite have the setup. And I'll be honest, this isn't the perfect setup, but we're
rolling with it.
working with what we got. We've got this TV screen that we've mic'd up, so hopefully the audio is pretty good for it. But we wanted to...
In the Tucker and the Beard Cave.
Yeah, we wanted to check out the brand new trailer for Spider-Man: Far From Home.
Yes.
And you know what? We're gonna jump right into it. We actually have a quick message from Spider-Man himself.
Yes.
Before we dive into the trailer, so we're gonna turn it over to our friend Tom Holland.
Let's do that.
All right.
The Spider-Man Far From Home trailer is about to play, but if you haven't seen Avengers Endgame yet, stop watching because there's some serious spoilers about to come up. But if you have seen Avengers Endgame, enjoy the trailer.
So yeah, spoilers.
Everywhere I go,
Here we go.
I see his face. Just really miss him.
Yeah, I miss him too. I don't think Tony would have done what he did if he didn't know that you were going to be here after he was gone.
So right out of the gate, for me, like
That's some hard hitting.
it hits you right in the feelings, right out of the gate. But I think what was cool is that, and we saw this leading into, I mean, we saw it really going all the way back to Civil War, but this kind of special relationship that Tony Stark had with Peter Parker.
Yeah, it was like a mentor-mentee kind of father-son-esque.
It was, before Tony had his own child.
Right. Spoiler.
Listen, we're past that point. We're a full 2 weeks out,
Yeah,
so
that's the limit as far as that. So,
but it was before Tony had his own kid. He was really starting to form this bond with Peter as almost like a son that he didn't have.
Yeah, kind of a surrogate son, so to speak. And it was, they had a really, cool relationship. And you saw it a lot during Endgame when Tony finally kind of got back.
Yeah.
And, I mean, he was still crushed.
Yeah, he was still pretty...
It's like, I lost the kid.
Yeah, I lost the kid.
And that was the reason he got back into the game.
The game, so to speak.
To begin with, was to try and save him.
Yeah.
Which he did.
Yeah.
And this is, and for kind of spoilers, that it was, the overall thing from Endgame was it was 5 years after the snap. And there's some kind of things as far as some people, because it was 50% of the population that disappeared. So the other 50% is 5 years older.
Mm-hmm.
And for him, they're in college.
Yeah, or would have been.
The kids that he was going to school with.
Yeah.
And so he's coming back essentially 5 years later.
So it kind of implies that a lot of his schoolmates got caught up in the snap as well.
Right.
So, but let's keep it rolling. Like the return of instant death.
Well, no, I don't have time. I'm too busy doing your job.
Whoa.
I'm kidding. Look, keep up the good work.
He's really
I'm
good.
going on vacation.
Think of him going on a school vacation.
Nick Fury's calling.
I don't really want to talk to Nick Fury. Why?
Because if you don't talk to him, then I have to talk. I want to talk to him. Sent Nick Fury to voicemail?
I gotta go. You do not ghost Nick Fury.
You don't ghost.
You don't go.
I'm just talking about
If we know anything about Nick Fury, much like life, finds a way.
Yes.
You're a very difficult person to contact, Spider-Man. This is Mr. Beck.
Look at you, sign my foot on my world.
Yep.
All right. So for people that aren't in the know, this character that Jake Gyllenhaal is playing is Mysterio.
Yes.
Who in the comics is a very bad guy.
Yeah, he's not cool.
He's not a good
Not a good dude.
So for what is my guess on this, my hypothesis is I'm getting a real Syndrome vibe from The Incredibles.
Yes. Yeah.
That he is...
I think Syndrome was kind of an amalgamation of Mysterio and a couple of other supervillains from actual comics when they were creating that character.
Right,
in-
and it's
in
a
the
cool
Incredibles.
twist because he doesn't really have powers.
Yeah.
He has the character of that is he's a special effects master.
Yeah.
Or whatever. So he uses, tricks and special effects and everything to make, to cause havoc.
Yeah, to make it look like
He's
things are happening.
right, that it's not actually happening. So my guess is that this is going to be the end reveal in this movie, that it's going to be he's the secret bad guy all along.
Yeah.
Sorry to ruin things, but
yeah,
he's Mysterio.
Spoiler
He's
alert
Mysterio
in advance.
So, yeah.
All right, let's
World's
roll.
big is from Earth, just not ours. The snap tore a hole in our dimension.
You're saying there's multiverse?
That's
So,
Job to do.
a lot of people have been maybe assuming or inferring that this might be the return of Sandman, who was in the ill-fated Spider-Man 3,
Right.
which just suffered
Thanks.
from too much villainy.
Yeah, and Lowell from Wings. I can't remember his actual name. Thomas Hayden Church.
Yes.
Just
Pulled
pulled
that one off
that
the
one
head.
out of the Rolodex. That was, to his credit, he did well with what he had, but too
many cooks in the kitchen.
Batman Forever syndrome.
Yep.
And just too many bad guys. So I think, because there's something of that, is that Sandman, is it
Is
in
it
an Eternal, because they're talking about bringing
or
in
an Elemental?
Elemental, thank you. They are coming with the Eternals, but that's an Elemental.
Yeah, that's a different thing.
My guess is that it's a special effect.
Yeah, it's some sort of effect
to make
that
him
maybe
look like a good guy
when
and
really
stopping these monsters.
he is bad guy.
He is bad guy. But the bigger thing that there is them talking about the multiverse.
Yeah,
That
so a
is
hole got ripped in the
huge.
in the fabric of time and space with all the snapping and unsnapping and things of that nature.
And the possibility this brings to the future MCU is huge, which
Yeah.
means, in my thing we were talking about, that means the X-Men that are already a thing could exist.
Could be very
Deadpool.
much. Deadpool could be involved.
They could exist in a separate
Yeah,
Earth, a separate universe. So,
and
this
Marvel's
could be
always
huge.
kind of played heavy on this multiverse concept, but it's kind of more been just in the background. We know that the world of the Avengers exists. We know that the world of the X-Men exists, but there really hasn't been a whole lot of crossing over.
Well, and that's partially because they're owned by two separate studios. But now,
Well,
that
even in the
one
books, though, there's not a ton of Avengers X-Men crossover
They-
stuff going on.
has been at some points,
Yeah.
but it's been
very
when
minimal.
universes collide,
Yeah,
or worlds collide.
and it's kind of always been in this multiverse
Right.
type of scenario.
But this is huge going forward. That this is what they're going to do. That's snap.
They're gonna. So
mess
that's
some stuff up.
to me. That's the biggest sneak peek into what
Is
Phase
coming.
4 of the MCU has. to
Yeah,
offer.
like I heard that, I was like, wait a minute.
Yeah.
That's huge.
So as long as they don't figure out a way to close that tear in the first
Right.
at
just
their
like-
first opportunity, we could see some really interesting. We do already know that a lot of Phase 4, the MCU, is going to not take place on Earth.
Right.
It's going to be a lot more focused on Captain Marvel and the Guardians.
Yeah.
So we'll just have to see how that plays out.
As Guardians of
The
the
as
Galaxy.
Guardians of the Galaxy.
So, but yeah,
Let's
that's
keep it rolling.
That's huge.
Coming with
There's got to be something else you can use. What about Thor?
off-world.
See the earth, the water, and the
Unavailable.
fire that you're going to see in these monsters. That's what's leading people to assume
Name it Spider-Man.
or guess that they were going to be elementals.
Please, you've been
Elementals. I
to
keep on going because they're doing it.
What do you want, Peter? I want to go back on my trip with the girl who I really like and tell her how I feel. MJ, I
am Spider-Man.
no.
She knows.
I mean, it's kind of obvious.
You're right, you may not be ready, but this is my responsibility.
Saving the world requires sacrifice. Sometimes people die.
Iron Man glasses.
Putting my friends in danger. The world needs the next Iron Man.
You going to step up or not?
I work with Spider-Man, not for Spider-Man. New plan.
That is
So-
awesome.
Yeah, I mean, some really. I mean, if you look into it, I suppose, you could even have some shades of Young Avengers. We already know that they've kind of teased at that.
Right.
In Captain Marvel, we know that the young lady who is the daughter of Carol's friend,
Right.
in the books, she becomes a Captain Marvel character.
Right.
In
set it up
the
for
very
life.
first scene of Endgame, Hawkeye's daughter, when he calls her Hawkeye, it was kind of a little
Nod.
tip of the hat to maybe creating a Young Avengers
Where she would be Hawkeye. Because he was never.
as somewhere a part of the MCU.
Yeah. They never
And-
actually call him Hawkeye.
No,
That's
they
the only
never
time
do
that
call
that
him Hawkeye. We
name
just know
is-
him as Hawkeye.
Right, and that's the only time the name is actually ever used
Mm-hmm.
thus far. So
Yeah,
she
so-
could become Hawkeye.
So just, and this could be, we already kind of know the one thing that throws it off is, we have Falcon being given the shield.
Right.
So we can assume that he will become the next Captain America.
Right.
And that's the only thing that kind of throws a wrench into the whole Young Avengers thing. But we could see Peter Parker, which is, this, as far as I know, is unheard of. But we could see Peter Parker maybe potentially taking on the Iron Man mantle and giving up the Spider-Man mantle. They're making a lot of weird hints to things. So, but
Right.
July 2nd,
Yeah, exactly.
we'll see what
That's
happens.
Right around my birthday last year. Got to watch the other one.
Yeah.
Around my birthday, so no, I'm good.
Spider-Man's always good in the summertime.
I'm there. Like after Endgame, I was kind of down, so to speak. It kind of takes a lot. So it's just like, okay, how to, move forward from it and everything. And it's like seeing this, it's like, okay, cool. They're, continuing it.
Yeah.
It's like, hey, there's life after. How are we going to move forward? So I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah,
Mysterio's
absolutely.
a really good bad guy.
It's going to be a cool movie either way.
They've hinted at Mysterio before in the Tobey Maguire ones. They were building up to it with Bruce Campbell.
Yep, and it just never happened.
And it just never happened. Spider-Man
Because they jumped the shark with Spider-Man 3 and it just never went down.
Exactly. So I'm excited to see what they do with it. So this is his first time actually on screen.
Yeah.
That'll be cool.
Anyway, let us know what you think of this kind of, what are your thoughts on the movie?
Yeah.
Do you want us to do more of these trailer reaction videos? Let us know in the comments. Don't forget, you can find us on Facebook. You can find us on YouTube. You can find us on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, or Spotify. So we're everywhere. We're everywhere that you want to be. We really do appreciate it.
And if you're other places, give us a call. We'll
Yeah,
be there
if
too.
there's a place that you like to get podcasts and we're not there, let us know and we'll figure out how to put it there.
Or we'll just come to you. Just
Yeah.
hang out.
We'll do a live podcast in your living room.
That'd be fun.
Yeah.
It'd be weird.
We like weird, though. We like weird. Anyway, until next time, he's Tucker.
It's weird.
And we're out.